Hello and welcome to a special episode of Nothing But the Truth. Today we present a BJP versus Congress debate on the major issues that have dominated Parliament this week. Our range will stretch from conversions and Hindutva comments by ministers to allegations of U-turn Sarkar by the Congress party. And underlying it all is the key question, was this a bad week in office for the government, or has the hype and drama been greater than the actual problem? My two guests are BJP MP and former editor Tarun and Congress MP and former Minister Jyotiraditya Scindia. Tarun Vijay, let's start with what happened on Tuesday when 57 Muslim families were converted to Hinduism in Agra by the Bajrang Dal and the Dharm Jagran Manch. We now have adequate proof that this was done by misleading them with promises of BPL, ration and Aadhaar cards. Would you accept that is unacceptable?
Nobody says that anything which is done by force, by giving allurements, by giving any kind of a pressure tactic is right. Nobody can say that. Nobody has said that. The conversion debate is very old in India and nobody has objected if someone has converted to Islam or Christianity out of his free will. The only thing objectionable is if someone coerces, someone puts some allurements and someone puts up some kind of a compelling situation where they have to convert, like giving a rice ball to a poverty-struck, hungry person and saying that you convert. That is bad, and let the state government take action. It's a state subject. Let the state government take action against anyone who has violated the law.
Jyotiraditya Scindia, you heard a very clear, if surprising, answer from Tarun Vijay. He says any conversion on the basis of coercion or inducement or allurement is wrong. In addition, Amit Shah, speaking to the India Today conclave, said that he will tell his MPs not to speak out of turn. He even suggested that he might rebuke them in private. Can Congress not accept this as the end of the matter? Because if you pursue it and whip up emotions, you could end up creating an incendiary situation.
Well, Karan, if this was an incident in isolation, you're absolutely right. We could call it the end of the chapter. But in 7 months of this government, we have seen successive and sequential incidents across the spectrum, from riots to statements that have been made, to idols like Sania Mirza being vilified, to ministers making all kinds of statements, to yesterday's statement of one of the members of parliament from the Lok Sabha about Nathuram Godse being a Deshbhakt. I mean, it's going all across the spectrum. Ram Naik, a governor, saying a Ram temple should be built at the earliest, to some BJP leaders saying the Taj Mahal used to be a mandir. So you're seeing a campaign of polarization across the board. So I'm sorry to say that that is not acceptable. And as far as the forced conversions are concerned, I must say, I must give credit to Tarun Vijayji for his statement just now. It's the first BJP leader that I'm seeing who's actually condemning forced conversions. And the fact of the matter is that when you're giving governmental inducements for this, which is the BPL card and the ration card, then the central government has to intervene, because the central government cabinet has taken an oath to uphold the constitution of a secular democratic republic.
Let me stop you there. Tarun Vijay, I want to come back. As you heard, you've been applauded by Congress for your statement a moment ago.
But let me finish.
Let me finish. Tarun Vijay, let me finish. Mr. Vijay, let me finish. No, Mr. Vijay, don't spoil everything.
Even, tsunami or some kind of a fisherman also, that we are behind that.
Yeah. Mr. Vijay, can I interrupt and finish? Let me finish my question, Mr. Vijay. Please. Mr. Vijay, let me finish my question. You've been applauded for what you've said by the Congress party. But the problem doesn't end there for one reason. The Dharm Jagran Manch has announced that in Aligarh on the 25th, which is Christmas, they will hold a grand conversion. They want to convert 3,000 Christians and 1,000 Muslim families. And what's worse, two BJP MPs have said they'll be there, Yogi Adityanath and Satish Gautam. And Rajeshwar Singh, who is not only the convener of the Dharm Jagran Manch, but in addition is the local RSS Pracharak, has gone on record to say they've chosen Aligarh because they want to wrest this city from Muslims, and they've chosen Christmas because they want a trial of strength between Hinduism and Christianity. Now, will your government step in and stop this? Because this is even worse.
I don't trust what you said, Karan. It is a precipitated hatred against the Hindus among the so-called secular elite like you, who have always protected the Christian conversion of the Hindus in the entire northeast, in Bastar, in Jagdalpur, in other parts of Odisha, who have always protected and shielded the elements who have murdered our sadhu sons like Swami Lakshmananand, who were simply preaching Hindu dharma to the tribal people. You have always protected those who are converted Hindus to their fold. But whenever there is some iota of some kind of a effort amongst the Hindus to regain their lost ground and say that because the convergence by the Christian proselytization is the biggest violence against our civilization in the history.
Okay.
We have a right to protect ourselves. But you people think that the Hindus converted to Islam and Christianity is nice, and that should be defended and justified as a legitimate right of the Christians to proselytize. But whenever Hindus try to regain and preach their religion and say that come back home, you create a scenario out of an isolated incident as if the minorities have been invaded.
Mr. Vijay, stop. Take a breath and stop. Let Jyotiraditya Scindia reply. What he's saying in defense, and he completely ignored my question, by the way, but what he's saying is that when Hindus try and take back people who were converted, people like you and I erupt in anger. But when Christians and Muslims convert Hindus, we don't say a word. Just a moment. Mr. Vijay, let someone else speak now.
Swami Dayanand began Shuddhi movement.
Tarun Vijay, don't be unfair. Tarun Vijay, don't be unfair. Let someone else speak. Go ahead. Jyotiraditya Scindia, reply to that we are unfair, we are one-sided.
Well, I think the question and the allegation was posed to you, not to me. But now that you've put the question to me, I shall reply. First of all, I have a statement here. Tarun Vijayji said that these are all innuendos and suspicions. There's a quote by Rajeshwar Singh, who told the Times of India that RSS spends 50 lakhs per month on conversion on an average of 1,000 families. We have reconverted 2.73 lakh Muslims and Christians in the Braj region. That includes Agra, Fatehpur, Sikri, Mathura, Firozabad, Etah, Meerut, Mainpuri in Uttarakhand since 2003. The upcoming mass reconversion event in which some 5,000 Muslims and Christians will be brought back into the Hindu fold will be headed by Yogi Adityanath on December 25th in Aligarh, unquote. So therefore, are you condemning this quote? If you're condemning this quote, then there's nothing left to discuss, because then we agree with you. If not, then there's a problem, number one. Number two, I'm actually surprised that someone such as Tarun Vijayji is talking about in the 21st century regaining of Hinduism, regaining or Hindutva, regaining the lost ground, as if we are in the era of the Crusades. I mean, I'm really shocked as a 21st century Indian. I'm a Hindu, I'm proud to be a Hindu, and I said that in Parliament yesterday. My religion is not a religion, it's more of a philosophy, which is all-encompassing. And let's not forget, the Constitution talks about a secular democratic republic. And it is the job of the government and every single citizen in India to ensure that we protect that. Forced conversions are just
Can I ask a question?
No, just a moment, Tarun Vijay, let him finish, then you come in.
And whichever caste.
Tarun Vijay, I want to take up a particular point you made. Tarun Vijay, I want to take up a particular point you made. You talked about the ground that had been lost to the Christians. Do you know that the total Indian Christian population is 2.3%? Christians, as missionaries, have been in this country for 2,000 years. If you claim that they've been deliberately converting Hindus to Christianity, how come their population is just 2.3%? Because then, as missionaries who are converting, they've done a dreadful job.
Karan Thapar ji, I think you have heard the name of Bapu, whose name was Mahatma Gandhi. He is known as the father of the nation. I hope that you have read what he has written about the Christian conversion of the Hindus. He was not an RSS member. I hope you have remembered what Swami Vivekananda said about the conversion of Hindus to Christianity. And at that time, the conversion was being done under the British
And what about
protection.
Ambedkar's conversions of Dalits to Buddhism, which he did in hundreds of thousands?
It is a question whether Hindus have a right to protect themselves or not.
Are you ignoring Ambedkar's conversions of Buddhists?
Or not. because I don't want to say what you want me to say to you. I want to say what I want to say. Gandhi opposed, Vivekananda opposed, Thakkar Bapa opposed. Indira Gandhi never allowed Christians to go to Arunachal, and under Congress they created Freedom of Religion Act in the entire Northeast, and they tried to protect the local Aboriginal tribal people from getting converted to Christianity.
And Mr. Vijay, this justifies Rajeshwar Singh saying, I want to wrest Aligarh back from Muslims. This justifies Rajeshwar Singh saying, I want Christmas to be a test of strength between Christianity and Hinduism. This justifies it?
I will oppose conversion tooth and nail of a single Hindu in my country. As much as I can. If Karan Thapar wants to convert to Christianity, I will have no objection. On Christmas Day, our family goes to the Gold Market Church. We have respect for Jesus Christ as a Hindu, because we believe in all the religions lead to one God.
Yes, but this is not about your personal belief. This is about a deliberate attempt to allure people to Hinduism by offering them falsely ration cards and other provisions. Jyotiraditya Sindhya, you wanted to say something. Go ahead.
Proselytization.
Let Jyotiraditya Sindhya speak, Mr. Vijay. Mr. Vijay, let Jyotiraditya speak. Go ahead.
2 points. Tarun Vijayji talked about Bapu, the father of nation. What is his comment on one of his members of parliament calling Bapu's killer a Deshbhakt, Nathuram Godse? Fortunately, we forced him to apologize not to parliament but to the nation in parliament today. I think that is the most heinous statement that a member of parliament of the BJP could have made. It's not a religious issue. It is a national shame what happened, number one. Number two, when he talks about Swami Vivekananda also, we should look at what Swami Vivekananda's learnings are. I didn't interrupt when others were talking, Tarun Vijayji. I have a deep amount of respect for you and a tremendous respect for you. And I would really be appreciative if you heard me out. We talked about Swami Vivekananda. And you should also look at some of what his readings are. When he talks about the exposition of all our Upanishads and our Vedantas and all our treatises, he also talks about the fact that the way of Islam also shows a new prism to all of that. So it's the hallmark of all religions to work together. That is also part of Swami Vivekananda's teachings. So one on the issue of Bapu that you've raised, the father of the nation, and the other on the issue of Swami Vivekananda. I want to present both these points of view to you.
Let me put this to you, Tarunji. A moment ago,
why Bapu opposed conversion? Why Vivekananda opposed conversion? And I must give you the information. I am a Ramakrishnaite, and we celebrate Christmas officially in all Ramakrishna ashrams. That doesn't mean we don't love our religion, Hindu Dharma.
Mr. Vijay,
we protect it.
Mr. Vijay,
we have to protect our Dharma.
Mr. Vijay,
yes, sir.
You said that there should be nothing objectionable to people returning to Hinduism because you called it returning home to their original faith. I want to point out to you that the Dharm Jagran Manch itself has virtually proven that these are not voluntary returns. Look, when the Dharm Jagran Manch says, as they did in a letter published yesterday, that their target is 2 lakh conversions a year, that is a target they're seeking to fulfill. You fulfill it by going out to convert, not by people voluntarily converting. That's what I'm saying. The second they talk about setting a target, they're giving the game away. These are not voluntary. These are people the Dharm Jagran Manch is inducing with allurement.
Karanji, I am not a spokesperson for Dharm Jagran Manch. There is a rule of law in the country. We all bow our head before the Constitution. If there is any violation of law, law will take its action, but the law will also take action against those who are alluring the poor and illiterate tribals in the jungles of Odisha and in Northeast. So I hope that sometime you will also hold the discussion on that kind of an issue, not on this. I cannot speak for Dharm Jagran Manch. I have stated my position very clearly. We accept the constitutional position. We accept what Gandhi said, that oppose conversion and have faith in Rama. We accept that Vivekananda said that a single Hindu converted to Christianity is not just converted,
let me put your point to Jyotiraditya Sindhya. Jyotiraditya Sindhya, the point being made here is that he says quite categorically he doesn't defend and support the Dharm Jagran Manch converting by allurement Muslims or Christians to Hinduism. But he's equally talking about fundamentalist Christian sects who seek to convert Indians. Now, Philip Goldberg, writing in HuffingtonPost.com, has actually said that fundamentalist Christian sects, not the Catholic Church, but fundamentalist Christian sects, backed by American money, are literally trying to pile up Indian converts as if they were in fact adding up a stack of products in a market. That is almost the exact language Philip Goldberg used. Would you and your party condemn that as strongly as you condemn the Dharm Jagran Manch?
I think I'm very clear in my articulation, Karan, that any conversion wherever it is forced is unethical, illegal and incorrect. I'm very, very clear in my thinking. I do not hold a separate guideline for myself and a separate guideline for anyone else.
India law on this.
But certainly,
Mr. Vijay, let him finish.
Please. Yes,
go ahead.
I'm talking about forced conversions, all right? So as far as forced conversions are concerned, whether it is through allurements, through pressure or any other method, irrespective of which religion, which caste, across the board, I believe is incorrect.
Right.
Having said that, I still haven't heard from my good friend Tarun Vijayji on the issue of Sakshi Maharaj's statement, on the issue of his minister's statement in the government that pits one religion against the other. I can't even use those words on your television program, Karan.
Let me put that
the Ram Zado versus the rest. I'm not going to even use that language on your television.
Tarun Vijay,
but I think it's deplorable.
Tarun Vijay, let me take it up. There's been, and I'm moving away from conversions now, there's been a whole string of Hindutva-style comments by ministers in your government. Sushma Swaraj claiming that the Gita should be, in fact, the national scripture of the country. Kalraj Mishra saying that Hindutva is the identity of India. And then, of course, Sadhvi Niranjan Jyoti saying that those who are not Ram Zado are Haram Zado. Now, these are comments that betray a communal mindset. And I put it to you, such people should not be ruling a secular country, India. How do you respond to India's ministers speaking in these ways?
Karanji, how long will you be, taking the issue of Ram Jadavs and all that? It's done. It's over, and our Honorable Prime Minister has clarified this in the Parliament. The House has accepted the issue as
What
closed
about Sushma Swaraj and the Gita?
Every time. Because,
what about Sushma Swaraj and the Gita?
Please excuse me. I'm coming to it. Gita is universal, like Tirukkural of Tiruvalluvar, right? So everyone who believes in Gita, has a right. Gita, like Tirukkural, is a book of India. And Gita
so would you be happy for the Granth Sahib to be considered the national scripture? No. Or for the Upanishads and the Vedas? Or for the Jain text?
Why not? Mahavir, Buddha, all these are the best expressions all of India's.
I take your point, Tarun Vijay. I take your point. Jyotiraditya Scindia, the problem many people... The problem, Jyotiraditya Scindia, is this. Tarunji, just hold. You made your point. Let someone else have a chance. Jyotiraditya Scindia, let me add to the point you're hearing from Tarun Vijay by saying this. Congress's record on this is not much better. After all, Rajiv Gandhi began the 89 campaign from Faizabad promising Ram Rajya. Earlier that year, in January 89, you fought the Mizoram state elections with a manifesto promising Christian socialism. Today, you object to Hindutva-style comments from BJP ministers, but your people, when they were in power, and I'm talking of Rajiv Gandhi, was guilty of something very similar. So aren't the two of you actually almost identical when it comes to misusing religion for political appeals?
Absolutely not. I completely deplore that statement that Rajiv Gandhi ji has never ever used religion as a means for political powers.
Ram Rajya, what was that?
Our tenet, which is the constitution.
What was Ram Rajya in 89?
Secularism. Number one, number two, as far as this issue is concerned, the BJP was a government that said that we will give you a government with a difference. We will give you clean government. We'll give you people who speak a different language, who think a different way, who unite India. If you do a U-turn, then obviously you're going to be chastised. Because you promised something else and you delivered something else.
But just a moment.
I have to leave.
You've sidestepped Rajiv Gandhi and Ram Rajya, haven't you? You've sidestepped Rajiv Gandhi and Ram Rajya. He began an election campaign promising it, and then there's Shah Banu and the implications of the Shah Banu judgment.
The Congress party have always believed in secularism and nothing else apart from that.
But did Rajiv live up to secularism when he was talking of Ram Rajya?
I'll have to...
Just answer that. Before you go, answer that for me.
Every action of his was based on the tenet of secularism, which is what the Congress party has always stood for ever since its inception.
In which case, how did you fight the Mizoram election of January 89 promising Christian socialism? That was a promise Rajiv Gandhi made. You don't want to answer that? We've lost him, I'm afraid. We've lost him at that point. Let me come back to you and put this to you. I'm going to carry on with just you, Tarun Vijay. I'm going to move to, in fact, the allegations made by Congress in a booklet earlier this week, where they claimed that yours was a U-turn Sarkar. I'm going to take up just 2 points with you. And to take them up, I don't need Jyotiraditya Scindia. The first is, on the 17th of April this year, Rajnath Singh in Thane, Maharashtra promised that within 100 days, all the black money stashed abroad would be brought back to India. Now, he knew when he made that promise that there was no way he could live up to the 100-day commitment, yet he did it. So I put it to you, that was a false promise made deliberately to mislead people at election time in the hope that they would vote for the BJP.
I can only say, Karan, with all humility, that it's the frustration and the irritation of that secular brigade which was after the life of our organization, our ideology, when they see that we are succeeding not only in India but globally.
But you're not answering my question.
One of the strongest.
You're not answering my question. I'm pointing to you a specific promise made on a specific date that was false, and I'm asking you, do you accept it?
They are trying to divert the main attention. We have done what the Congress has not done in the last 67 years within the 6 months, and the 100-day promise is there. For the getting back the black money process started. Within 2 days, we had that SIT established. Congress had 2 years.
Let me give you another example. Let me give you another example of how this time your Prime Minister was making statements he knew at the time he could not defend and that they weren't even true. During his election campaign, he first said that if all the money abroad was brought back, every Indian would get a free gift of 3 lakhs. Later, he upped it to 15 and 20 lakhs. But on the 2nd of November in Man Ki Baat, he freely and frankly admitted that he had no idea how much money was abroad. The government had no idea. In fact, he said no one had any idea. In which case, how did he say everyone would get 3 lakhs? How did he say they'd get between 15 and 20 lakhs? When he made those promises, he knew that he was misleading. He knew that he was making promises to attract votes without any basis of fact.
I can only sympathize with your brigade of the secular media that has found nothing to criticize Mr. Modi's government. What Mr. Modi meant, that we will make a prosperous India and every Indian will be rich after the success of the economic policies.
Okay.
And when we get back the black money stashed abroad, certainly it will enrich, it will enhance our power.
All right.
To fight poverty.
Mr. Vijay,
that was the main message.
That is,
Mr. Karan Thapar,
to be kind, that's an elliptical answer. To be honest, it's an obscure answer. To be absolutely truthful, it's not an answer at all. But you have a right and a prerogative to evade and avoid answering my questions. But I'm afraid at that point, when you're not answering, we've run right out of time. My thanks to you for joining me. My thanks also to Jyotiraditya Scindia, who joined us for much of the time but couldn't stay to the end. That was meant to be a debate between Congress and the BJP on the key issue: has this been a really bad week for the government, the worst in 6 months? Or has the hype and the drama exceeded the actual extent of the problem? That now is an issue and a question you, the audience, must decide for yourself. From me, goodbye. Goodbye.